What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, finally bringing you some more replay casts. These are pretty old games, but hell, I'm going to stick to my word and I'm going to cast all of them. This is going to be between Na'Vi and GDB from the Starseries Season 3 LAN event winners bracket. Na'Vi already taken game 1. If you haven't seen that, then, well, it's quite a few videos down on my list. So, yeah, Na'Vi did take game 1. I think it was Pudge and Faceless together that were pretty good teamwork. I honestly don't remember casting it at all. It was a really long time ago. I've been slammed with a lot of group work recently, but right now I am pretty much in the clear, so hopefully we get a lot more of these out. I hope you've been enjoying the FP VODs. Those are mostly just like stress relievers. Like, I'm just playing them and recording them for shits and giggles while in between group assignments, so that's what's been happening with that. But now, we are back to some good old replay casts. I'll still try to get some FP VODs out to you guys because, well, I know people enjoy them. So, look forward to more of everything in the future, I suppose. The bans are going to be pretty normal, and Na'Vi going to open up with Leshrac, Anti-Mage, and, of course, that classic Dendi Pudge. And I do think that it'll be worth it for GDB to ban out the Pudge. Like, I have yet to see Dendi play a poor Pudge. And in a LAN event, when you don't have any lag or anything like that, everyone's on the same internet battlefield, well then, Pudge just becomes that much more deadly. But GDB, they're instead going to open up with Jakiro and Batrider. Keep in mind that these replays are from early November, I want to say, before 0.76 came out. And so that means heroes like Sven, Magnus, people don't really realize that they're really, really good at this point. So we're in like a little bit of a different meta as of this point in time. But I only have something like 10 more games to cast. Just the winners bracket here, and then a couple of losers bracket games, and then the grand finals. And I already casted the game 1 of the grand finals because the English VOD was having some trouble or something, so I just did that. But yeah, hopefully we'll get everything done. I have one final, actually. All my classes have been really heavy on the presentations and projects and shit like that. And I already took one final, so I just have one more left, and it should be really easy. So, looking forward to all of that. But Na'Vi, let's go over some of these heroes, because heroes are pretty important when you're playing Dota. GDB, they've already picked up the Tiny, in addition to the Batrider and Jakiro, so they have a lot of flying heroes on the map right now. But Tiny is going to be played as their hard carry. Jakiro and Batrider taking on more initiation/support roles. GDB cannot choose the Wisps to partner up with that Tiny, but I don't think they'll really... won't be a big deal. They pick the Tiny knowing very well that they wouldn't be able to pick up that Wisp. So their hard carry, their burst, magic damage is pretty good, but the thing is they're up against Pudge and Anti-Mage, and both of those heroes do have abilities that give them more magic resistance. So the Tiny Avalanche Toss won't be as effective, Batrider, everything won't be as effective, Jakiro, everything won't be as effective. So that means Na'Vi have a certain window of time when they should be pretty resistant, heavily resistant to anything that GDB have to offer. Of course, you can't always resist all of Avalanche Toss. It'll pretty much kill Leshrac straight out. But that is going to deny a lot of their magical damage come the late game. GDB going to ban out a lot of support heroes. Basically, all the 3 support heroes that you see there, Chen Enchantress, as well as the Omni Knight, those are all bans for Puppey. So I think Puppey is probably going to be picking up that Enigma, if not Light of Heaven. GDB are going to pick up that Broodmother. This might be pushed to Leshrac to get a couple of points of Lightning. But before I get to that, Na'Vi banning out a couple of mid-lane heroes, banning out the Bounty Hunter in the hard lane as well. Mid-lane probably going to be that Batrider. Na'Vi, they're going to go with a Tidehunter plus Enigma. So they do have a good mix of ganking as well as teamfight. Their support cast of Leshrac, Enigma, and Tidehunter. You know, the 3-4-5 role, however you want to distribute that. Protecting the Anti-Mage and Pudge. I actually do like this lineup for Na'Vi. They have a good deal single target. You have Pudge with a Dismember. Anti-Mage, of course, could wreck single targets, and Tidehunter to help. And then they have a decent mix of AoE and initiation and teamfights. So Na'Vi have a very, very well-balanced team. Their lane's most likely going to be, I don't know, a Tidehunter hard lane or something like that. GDB, on the other hand, they're going to pick up the Broodmother as well as the Rubik. Broodmother is probably going to go onto that hard lane. Rubik is going to be supporting the Tiny, possibly with Jakiro in a tri-lane situation. So GDB, they have some pretty good single target as well. Their pushing is also very, very substantial. Broodmother, of course, does have that Spiderling army, and then you have toss damage, you have the eventual pickup of Liquid Fire. It should be some pretty good aggression coming out from GDB, and that would probably force Leshrac to go for a little bit more Lightning. Lightning does do very well against those Spiderlings, especially since in this version Spiderlings give up a lot of dough. On the Na'Vi side, we're going to have Light of Heaven playing his classic long lane Enigma. Puppy's going to be playing the Tidehunter with Arzart on the Leshrac. Probably both going to be supporting Havorse on the bot lane, as Dendy's going to go solo mid Pudge. It does make sense. I think Na'Vi prefer to have a protected farm on the Pudge lane, but in this situation, there's really no way to do it effectively, I don't think. Bambo is going to be playing that bot lane Broodmother. You can see already picking up some sentry wards, making sure he doesn't get detected out. Na'Vi, they should have sentries. They do have sentries, so it's just going to be a race to clear off the sentry wards. Sing Sing is going to be playing the Bat Rider in the mid lane, and top lane is going to be a tri-lane. Black as the Tiny, Kuroki as the Rubik, and Alex as the Jakiro. Now, there's not going to be all that much pushing coming out from this lane, but the Enigma isn't really going to be able to do much to stand up to this lane. Like, you could deny a couple of creeps, but that's pretty much it. Aside from that, you could try to snag 1 or 2 creep kills, but that lane, this top lane, is going to be firmly won by the GDB side. Havorse, as well as Puppy and Arzart, should be able to shut down this bot lane Bambo. See, with a very, very peculiar anti-pull ward. You don't really see it in this location all that much. The vision it gives is not the best. I mean, this vision is okay. Or did he get this? I don't know. This camp has a really weird pull box. It's like this or something like that. Or is it like this? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in 8 seconds. Bambo's already doing some shenaniganry. Well, I guess we're not going to see in 8 seconds because everyone's blocking the creep camp. Bambo might be in a little bit of trouble though. Arzart going to come around with an invisibility rune. He's going to pop down a sentry ward. Bambo, you got to run a long way. He's going to try to juke him out, but Puppy is there with the gush. Bambo, you can take some creep aggro as well. A huge shockwave from the melee creeps, from the neutral creeps, I'm sorry. And Havorse does pick up the first blood. Perfect for Na'Vi, catching Bambo way, way out of position. And then Havorse, of all people, swooping in for 1 right click and 1 first blood. Unfortunately for Bambo, the Satyr did get that giant shockwave out, and I don't think it would have I don't think it would have really affected anything. But having those creeps there, Bambo basically got the pull off for Arzart, a level 1 pull, and that is a double pull as well. Gonna kill off the Satyr's, gonna kill off the Mud Golem. So everything working out for Na'Vi, but that might not work out in the mid lane where Dendy is gonna take a little pressure. It looks like it's gonna be a dual lane. Sing Sing and Kuroki, they do feel like Light of Heaven is going to get shut down enough by Alex solo to allow for Black to farm. And, you know, at that point, what's the point of keeping 3 heroes there when you could just make do with 2? This is going to cut into Bat Rider's experience just a little bit, but it's going to shut down Dendy even more. Dendy wasn't going to have a good time in this mid lane regardless. Sing Sing's Bat Rider, or anyone's Bat Rider really, is a pretty good counter to Pudge, at least until Pudge gets a couple more levels. But just the fact that Pudge is melee, he has to walk in and then hit the creep and then turn around and then walk out. That's like 3 stacks of napalm right there, and then all the damage that follows through. So Pudge isn't going to have a fun time getting last hits. He's probably going to be a very poor Pudge. Forced to use hook to last hit. Why not, man? Why not? But this mid lane, not going to go well for Na'Vi. It's going to be firmly won by the GDB side yet again. The bottom lane is, of course, going Na'Vi's way. So the lane's slightly in favor of the Na'Vi's side. But really, they don't really need a lot of farm. The only person who needs farm on the Na'Vi squad is Force's anti-mage. And he's the one getting farm. Everyone else doesn't really need farm. Tidehunter usually doesn't get farm, like, at all. Arzart excels with farm, but the Shraks could do perfectly well without, and Dendy just needs experience, and well, really that's exactly what they're getting. Enigma also is a pretty good support-oriented hero who could get farm very, very well in the late game. You usually do have a lot of money, but not right now. He's going to take a long-range avalanche, and Kuroki is not going to get the kill as Black tosses a dragon onto Enigma, picking up a kill on this top lane. That is going to mean the GDB have tied the score 1-1. Of course, Na'Vi do have the first blood under the belt, so they should be a little bit ahead there, but I don't know if that's actually enough to offset the farm. That is not the correct button. Na'Vi do still have the gold advantage, experience advantage as well. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a pause. What? That's cool. I guess not. I guess Black didn't want to take that call, so we're just going to restart instantly. Sure, why not? So Na'Vi, even though they're not going to be able to get much farm on the top lane, much farm on the mid lane, they're still getting farm on the hero who needs it, and they should be able to make stuff happen come the mid game. Dendi just needs a couple of levels. I don't know if he was going for a hook onto the Bat Rider or just a melee creep, but either way, burning some mana as Puppey is helping him out. Tidehunter only level 1, but he's going to be semi-jungling. I don't know if you could actually call this jungling. This is a pretty highly stacked creep camp, though. So we should be able to clear this out, get a little bit of experience from that, and at the same time giving Dendi a little bit of an edge. Just one of the few advantages that the Sentinel has in the map. I think between Sentinel being able to do this and Dire having this a little bit closer, it's a pretty even trade. Light of Heaven has foregone that top lane, realizing he cannot get anything there. Is instead going to jungle. Sing Sing and Ars Art racing towards the double damage rune. Sing Sing would have really liked that to have in his bottle, but looks like that is not an available option. Hook from across the river is going to snag onto the Bat Rider, but instantly popping out that Firefly is going to keep the Bat Rider alive. Dendi, not yet level 6. Bat Rider still might be in a little bit of trouble. Art running through the flame to try to catch up to this Bat Rider. Another hook is going to be available very short. No, it's not actually, because there's no mana. It does have stick charges, which should give him enough mana, I think. I don't know, math is hard. There's something that, who said it? I don't remember who. I think I was watching IPL or something, and the casters were like, don't ever make a caster do math on stage. It's bad, man. I understand. What, 7 times 15? 70, 100, and yeah, that would have been enough for a hook. I don't think the range would have been there. There, I did math, guys. Yeah, I am so good at math. Black has been farming this top lane the entire time, and Alex has already picked up 1 point of Liquid Fire, not the most attack slow, but still is a pretty substantial amount to push down this tower. Black does have level 3 toss as well, so they could make something happen onto this tower since no one from Na'Vi is up here. Puppey is heading up, but the level 2 Tidehunter, I don't like his odds right now. I would not get close to that. I wouldn't touch that with like a 20-foot pole. Very bad idea if you are the Tidehunter, who is pretty much struggling. I said that the Na'Vi heroes were getting experience, but clearly for the Tidehunter at least, that's not the case. Enigma not doing too bad for himself. He has the Soul Ring already at level 5, so he could dip out into this bot lane soon enough. They get a little bit of a push going. Bambo has little to no anti-pushing abilities as the Broodmother. You could throw out some Spiderlings, but those pretty much get shredded down in an instant. And Na'Vi Dendi doing a little bit more to get the mileage out of that salve. Dropping the Gauntlet of Strength to lower his total health pool, and then picking it back up to increase his total health pool, meaning the salve does that much more. Not huge, but especially with +3 strength, it's barely noticeable. But hey, it brought him up to full health, so it works. Light of Heaven is continuing to farm his level 3 Eidolons. Maybe at level 7 he'll leave the lane, get a push on this bottom lane. Ars Art should have at least level 3 Edict by then. So by that time they could get a tower down. No towers have yet to be taken. Bambo is level 4, so he's doing okay for himself, especially as far as experience goes. Able to absorb a little bit of that, but Havorst is going to go straight towards a Battle Fury. No boots, just Poor Man's Shield into a Ring of Health into swords. So that's the build he's going to go for. Try to kind of race Tiny to that hard carry role. Tiny's actually pretty good against Anti-Mage. That Bat Rider looks like shit. They're just... Look at this. It's crazy. That's awesome. That is... I'm just constantly getting distracted, guys. I apologize, but... Tiny's actually a really good counter against Anti-Mage, even though Anti-Mage will have Spell Shield eventually to mitigate a lot of that avalanche toss damage, and the tower on the top lane destroyed by the Dire as I watch Dendi circle around here. But even though Anti-Mage does have a little bit of magic immunity, the main problem is going to be eventually that craggy exterior. Anti-Mage is going to be shut down pretty hard from that. The extra armor, but more importantly, that stun chance. When Anti-Mage is attacking very, very quickly, you're going to get stunned quite a bit. I do believe Sing Sing saw Dendi go invisible. Dendi looking for a hook, and missed by a mile, but that was completely blind, so you know, what could you expect? Puppey going to get a gush onto Sing Sing, race to the invisibility rune. It's going to be Tidehunter who picks it up, and now Sing Sing is a little bit of a tough position. Dendi, does he have a hook? He does not have mana. He does have stick charges, but not able to get close enough for that dismember. In the meantime, Arzart pressuring back Bambo once again, just buying space for Havorst. These Spiderlings pretty much just free gold, especially once the Anti-Mage picks up his Battle Fury. Then Bambo will pretty much stop casting Spiderlings to push, because at a certain point your Spiderlings just end up force-feeding the enemy gold. And it's like 13 gold at a time. It's not a big deal individually, but when you have an army of like 20 spiders, yeah, that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold, and you can't afford to really do that. One of the nerfs that hit the Broodmother. I don't think Broodmother is a huge hero right now, as in the time of me casting this. Although my Dota viewership has dropped substantially, at least as of late. But we'll see. We'll see. Rubik as well as the Jakiro looking towards the mid lane, where Dendi and Puppy are happily farming away. Hook onto Sing Sing. This might be the initiation that GDB wants. The Dismember is not going to come out. Instead, the Flaming Lasso is going to come out first. Dendi is in a little bit of trouble. The Ice Path is going to land. Telekinesis already used. Fade Bolt should be able to kill him off. There he goes. Sing Sing is going to escape with under 300 health. Puppy also is going to live. But Dendi, unfortunately, without the mana to Dismember, or Sing Sing was just a little bit quicker. Whatever the case, that definitely did not go Navi's way. A Dismember Rot would have definitely killed the Bat Rider before Jakiro or Rubik would have gotten close enough to help out. But Sing Sing, I suppose he just has a little bit of a faster trigger finger than Dendi. But we'll see. GDB only leads by 1 kill. Taking a look at the gold advantage once again in favor of GDB, mostly because of farm experience. Looking the same way. Kuroki, you do not want to be there, man. You do not want to be there. Dendi, he's hungry. He's hungry. He's gonna get it. But instant telekinesis and an ice path. Dendi denied once again. No Dismember. It's really hard to get that Dismember sometimes. You gotta click them while they're in transit on that hook. Another hook out. He's going to find the Jakiro. I don't think anyone is gonna be able to save him here. The Flame Break is not gonna be in range. Alex might live though. Dendi not doing enough damage. Only level 2 Rot, and Alex does live. Dendi does have another hook. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna go for it, and he just barely misses. Not enough range on that hook. And I cannot believe this Pudge has yet to claim any kills, despite the fact that he's gotten like 3-4 amazingly accurate hooks. Just not enough damage. Level 2 Rot doesn't do. Oh no! Sentry Ward, run! Courier, run! No! Oh my! Oh shit! That wasn't just a courier kill. That was the entire Battle Fury. Holy crap! That is going to piss Havorst off so much. That's another 3 minutes. What would have been an 11-minute Battle Fury is now a 14.5-minute Battle Fury. That is just a huge pickup for GDB. That never happens. That just doesn't happen. Now Havorst is going to be without anything for a very long time. A huge pickup from Black. Sometimes you just got to check the secret shot, man. I don't know if he saw it or what. But either way, that is going to be an extremely delayed Battle Fury. And Anti-Mage is unable to contribute anything to if Navi would want to stop this push. Spiderlings are there. The heroes are there. This tower is going to fall. GDB taking their second tier 1 tower, and they're looking pretty good so far. Tiny's still farming on that top lane very aggressively. No fear. He does spot out Havorst and Light of Heaven on the mid lane. And GDB, they have a pretty decent window of opportunity right now. When is the Courier back up? Courier isn't going to matter the most, but that is going to make Anti-Mage relevant again, because right now he doesn't have anything. He doesn't even have boots. He would have had his Battle Fury, which would have pretty much doubled his damage output. But right now, Anti-Mage is just dead weight. All that farming gone to waste in this 1.5-minute period. GDB might want to push their advantage right now. Tidehunter doesn't have the Ravage. Black Hole is up for Na'Vi, however. It looks like GDB, they might not care. Kuroki gonna pick up Split Earth, a huge pickup there. Such a reliable stun in the hands of Rubik, not as much in the hands of Leshrac. And Dendi is spotted out by the Spiderlings, going to be rotted down for a little bit of extra gold, but that is going to deny Dendi that hook. GDB, they're still sticking around though. Black, where is Black? Black is still on the top lane, pushing that out. Already does have his drums plus phase boots. Probably going to head towards Yasha, Aghanim Scepter, as that is the standard Tiny build. And Na'Vi, where's their Courier? Not up for another minute. Black does have his boots now, I guess, but he could have been farming a lot quicker. And I'm sure if Battle Fury was up, then Na'Vi would have been a little bit more happy to take this fight, because Anti-Mage would have actually been doing damage. Right now, he doesn't even have the mana break extra damage. He's pretty much a useless hero right now. He'll be a useful hero in another 30 seconds. Then he becomes useful. I guess Mana Void is okay, but really the mana pools from GDB not that deep. They're instead going to move towards the mid lane. Why not? Go for the easy tier 1s, IX Mike from Complexity. I think from Complexity still. Should be from Complexity. I don't think he's changed teams. Oh, hip onto Alex. There's the first Pudge kill. Wow, about friggin' time. Jakiro lagging down, lagging a little bit behind his team. That's going to stop the Liquid Fire. That's going to stop the push onto the mid lane. Dendi finally picking up a kill. Going to give him earn money. Really, he hasn't been farming all that well. A lot of consumable and like kind of stat-based mana regeneration items. Going to go up from the Pudge. Now he can finally get something that is not solely for the purpose of regeneration. A little bit of an offensive item in the urn as well. And now Havorst is going to make sure that he gets his Battle Fury, instantly jumping onto those Ancients. So now Anti-Mage is going to really start farming, but that was a lot of dead time. He does still have a ton of gold, most gold per minute in the game, with that first blood helping him out just a little bit. But it could have been just so much more if he had this Battle Fury 3 minutes ago. Forrest is going to blink himself in a little bit of danger, actually. If he gets telekinesed by Kuroki or Split Earth, Split Earth is probably a little bit more reliable than telekinesis. It does have a little bit more range. Then he's pretty much dead meat. It looks like instead it's going to happen on the bot lane. Then he's going to get a long range dismember on Bambo. Do they have vision? Bambo is going to kill the Leshrac with the Spiderlings, trapping Puppey a little bit as well. Havorst with the Mana Void, though, is going to kill off both the Broodmother as well as a large portion of her Spiderlings. But in the meantime, the mid lane is getting pushed down. Light of Heaven pressured back just a little bit from the Firefly of the Batrider. Doesn't want to get close to that. Ice Path is going to land on Light of Heaven, and Sing Sing going to go straight in. No, he's not. He's instead going to turn around, going to get the tower. Kuroki with the last hit. And Na'Vi have lost all of their tier 1 towers and have yet to take a single one for themselves. Na'Vi, I do think that they just need to get this level 6 on the Tidehunter, which they have already gotten. Now they could actually take a team fight. So far these fights have kind of been small skirmishes, not actually 5v5 clashes. But now the 5v5 clashes are going to start. Sing Sing already does have his Blink Dagger in transit, I'm sure, or eventually in transit. Tiny does have that Yasha, and well, he's not as stealthy as he would like to be. But GDB, their team fight isn't going to come out from their giant spells. It's just going to come out from the farm that they already have. Dendi smoked up, looking for a pick off on this top lane, which is being pushed by a whole bunch of GDB members. The only one left is Bambo on the bot lane. Forrest is doing his best to keep Bambo back, and Bambo, gotta be careful of that Mana Void, man. That could kill you so hard.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Forrest playing a couple games. Gotta watch out on this lane, man. Oh no, you gotta watch out right here as Rubik does get hooked. Looks like Bambo is actually safe. Black unable to get that Mana Void off. The Edict is gonna fly, and the tower is going to get shredded down. Na'Vi finally picking up their first tier 1 tower. But is it a little bit too little too late, because that tower is a trade? Na'Vi, they're going to keep pushing. They know that they have the team fight. They know they have the Ravage as well as the Hook to initiate. Black Hole to follow as well. So they could take a very good team fight, provided they are the ones initiating. But with Sing Sing on the Batrider, I don't think Na'Vi are going to have that luxury. Look for a Batrider initiation. No, he's actually going to blink out. Instead, Dendi is in the middle of, I don't know how he got there, but Alex is going to get rotted down, killed by Dendi. Hook going to fly, not hit onto Sing Sing. It's actually stolen by Kuroki, a very large pickup for him, but it looks like it's not going to be for long, as he is going to drop right now, can do heavy damage to Havorst, just barely surviving with 50 HP. Mech is going to fly from Light of Heaven, and the tier 2 tower has been picked up. Na'Vi taking a kill advantage, taking now a tier 2 tower in exchange for the top tier 2 tower. Definitely not what I would call an even trade, but it's really something that Na'Vi needed. All their heroes are kind of hurting on gold. Light of Heaven does have a mech decently quickly, but from a jungling Enigma, you usually would expect something like that. Pudge, very light on the items as well, and Tidehunter doesn't have anything, really. They're going to look towards a top tier 1 tower. Courier, Fearless, flying straight out to Art. Going to rush the BKB. Very, very interesting from him. Doesn't even have tier 2 boots yet. Can go straight to the magic immunity. Will help him quite a bit, actually, until Tiny, of course, gets his big stick. Then he's pretty much screwed. Nothing you could do as a Leshrac. Havorst might be in a little bit of danger now. Pushing this lane, none the wiser to the giant rock beast lurking right behind him. Bambo going to start off with the harassment. Havorst going to turn around, thinking he can take this, but really it's all about whittling down this anti-mage's HP. Oh, the invisibility. Barely saving that Broodmother's life. I don't know if it would have been enough. Here comes Kuroki, going to steal that Mana Void from Havorst. The blink away is going to put him right into Bambo's hands. The Mana Void not enough to kill him off. Toss onto the Anti-Mage. Is there an Avalanche? He already used it. Anti-Mage is going to blink into the trees. And GDB, they have no idea where he is. I barely even had an idea where he was. He should be fine to make it out of this, but I don't know. Sing Sing does have Firefly. If he pops it off, Havorce could be in a ton of shit. Looks like he's going to live, actually. How did Havorce get 3 kills? I must have missed that. Havorce. Oh, you gotta be so careful, man. Just barely getting in range of that shopkeeper. Gonna teleport himself out of there. In the meantime, his entire team is on this top lane, trying to pressure the tier 2s. Already have taken down the tier 1s. Without the anti-mage, they're going to be severely restricted as far as their damage output goes. But Black isn't going to be up there unless he decides to TP like right now for this push. Arzart with level 4 Edict is going to do heavy damage to this tower. Fortification is up, not popped yet. Black is instead on this bottom lane, trying to pressure this back, but Havorce is going to be more than happy to trade creep waves with the Tiny. Teleportation now coming in is going to be Kuroki. The hook is going to fly and latch onto Kuroki, but an instant blink away, stolen from the Anti-Mage, is going to keep the Rubik alive. Now Dendi's going to get lassoed back in with the Firefly as well. Bambo and Kuroki are there. Telekinesis plus the Fade Bolt. Dendi taking some heavy damage. Going to try to turn around for a hook. Not going to happen. Light of Heaven does blink in for a black hole, but it got stolen by Kuroki. Kuroki could have a huge opportunity right here. Puppey with the Ravage, going to catch 3 heroes, but not kill off anyone. There goes the Broodmother. Black is here to kill off the Enigma as well. Arzart going to get Dual Breath down, and the Flame Break canceling Puppey's teleportation. Sing Sing going to blink forward to kill this Tidehunter, and he's going to drop as well. Na'Vi with a very, very rough fight. Dendi, I think, yeah, he dropped and bought back into the game, smoked up instantly, looking for a retaliation pickoff. He wants to get this black hole off of the Rubik, because that is just a huge fact that you do not want to deal with. A single hook will kill off this Rubik, but can Dendi land it and then get himself out of there? Kuroki is going to get Urn charged, so now the hook will no longer kill him outright. He's going to run straight into Alex. Rod Dismember, hook, anything. No, Dendi is not here, but he cannot simply, hook, barely missing Kuroki. Kuroki slipping out of there, and he's going to be just fine. He does hold on to that black hole, and Dendi, fearless, look at this. I missed the hook, I know 2 people are around. I'm just going to kill some neutrals. Why the hell not? But GDB with that fight, tying the score up 7-7. Take another look at the gold graph. Still in favor of Na'Vi, with a couple of towers in their favor. EXP looking for a little bit of advantage on the Na'Vi side as well. But GDB, I feel, even with those disadvantages, they do still have a very, very even game in their hands right now. A lot of it does depend on the big ultimate spells that Na'Vi has. At a certain point, they're going to have to rely on these in order to win team fights. There's initiation onto Havorce. Can take huge amounts of damage. Will he be able to blink out of there? The black hole from Kuroki will deny that blink out, but the hook is going to cancel that, and Havorce will blink out of there. He should be fine, I think. The avalanche toss is going to land on Puppey. No Ravage there, although I don't think he had it on cooldown. No, he did not. Sing Sing going to try to make his way out with Flame Break. Havorce going to blink straight back in, looking for the kill onto that Batrider. Where's the hook from Dendi? It is not there, because Sing Sing is now a mile away. Still being chased by Havorce. Does have the Mana Void, but Sing Sing, he should be able to live from a Mana Void. He's going to try to juke Havorce out with the Firefly, and it's working. But here comes Dendi. Flame Break pushing Havorce back. The hook would have hit if Sing Sing would have kept running, but Havorce with the Mana Void is going to kill off the Batrider. GDB picking up 1 in exchange for 2. Batrider as well as Jakiro versus the Tidehunter. Tidehunter wasn't a huge asset for Na'Vi at that point, so it will be in favor of Navi's squad right there. And Bambo sitting in the middle of nowhere. Dendi kind of surprised, I think, that he actually got that Broodmother hook. That was just a blind hook. There was nothing he could have seen to even indicate that the Broodmother was there. That's the Broodmother. Usually the Broodmother is moving, not just chilling in one spot. Dendi unfortunately didn't have the mana to dismember. If the dismember mana was there, that would have been the death of the Broodmother for sure, because she was hooked into the tower range. I feel like Dendi has been on point with the hooks, but not really on point with the Pudge play. Not saying that he's bad. His Pudge play has been pretty darn good this game. Just the way that things have been going, like barely not enough damage with the Rot to kill off a Jakiro, getting lassoed before dismembered, just those small things, denying him big opportunities. But now Anti-Mage is getting pretty big. Look away from the Anti-Mage for just a moment, and he already has a Manta-style Battle Fury plus Power Treads 22 minutes into the game. Not bad at all. Light of Heaven as well as Puppey, they do have their big ultimates. And GDB, they're not as reliant on their ultimates, really. The only ultimate that they would like to have is the lasso. But I feel even without that, they could take a decent fight. and it doesn't really have a large cooldown either way, so they will have it up most of the time. Looks like they're grouping up, trying to get a smoke gank off. They're sentry warding pretty heavily in this area. They want to get a gank off there, instead just going to walk into the jungle. But Na'Vi, they're nowhere near that area, so it might just be a straight tier 2 push. Huh. I would not recommend straight tier 2 pushing against a Ravage and a Black Hole, but hey, whatever GDB likes, right? They're a lot better than I am. Bambo gonna lead the charge with the Spiderlings, forcing Na'Vi back. There's the last one to Puppey. Could they kill him off before the Ravage comes out? They will kill him off. No Kraken Shell even picked up by the Tidehunter Horse in the middle of the entire GDB squad, taking some heavy fire. Gonna blink forward or slash retreat or something. The Black Hole is gonna be burned on Bambo. He's gonna escape with 100 HP. Black is gonna get Rod Dismembered down. He's going to be the first one to drop on the GDB side. Hook is going to latch on to Sing Sing. Dendy picking up the Bat Rider kill right there, and GDB have lost 2 in exchange for 1. Vorst wants more. Not gonna find anyone else as Alex and Bambo both limp away at very low HP. At least Bambo. This is going to mean a Roshan, possibly. Vorst is going to be the one tanking, and they're going to try to go for this Roshan. They should be able to take it relatively safely. No Eidolons are up, but just the tanking and the damage, they should be able to take this down. And GDB without the Tiny, without the Bat Rider, that's most of their damage right now. Broodmother's going to come in with a couple spiders, but then you could just rot those down for some free gold. Just rot him down, man. There you go. Split Earth's gonna kill him off, and Bambo gonna try to do something silly. The cleave damage, and Bambo snatches it. He took the Aegis of the Immortal. He's gonna drop it right now. The Roshan was killed by the Radiant, so Na'Vi does get the gold. Dismember is going to kill off this Bambo instantly. Stealing the Aegis, but ending up feeding her life. Not sure if that was actually worth it. Probably was worth it. Anti-Mage with an Aegis is pretty darn deadly. But he's been surviving pretty well. He does have a lot of spell shield, and most of GDB's damage at this point is still in the magical area. Tiny has yet to get to that point when he's just just trucking with his tree trunk. Oh no, Sing Sing gonna get hooked back in. Force Staff out though from his friendly Ravage. Onto 2. Alex and Black stunned up for a little bit, but they're not going to get stunned at all. Croaky with a 3-man, 4-man Black Hole. Huge Avalanche Toss plus Jakiro's spells. Everyone from Na'Vi is going to drop. Dendi and Vorst are going to fall shortly. There's a 4-man wipe with a triple kill onto Black. GDB with Croaky stealing the Black Hole. I don't know if this was the same Black Hole that he stole up in this top lane, but either way, a beautiful Black Hole from this Rubik. That led perfectly into the maxed out dual breath ice path combo, and then of course Black's cleave. Perfect play from GDB right there. And Na'Vi, they're going to lose this tier 2 tower. I don't see any possibility for Puppey by himself to hold it. Even if Arzard comes back, even if Light of Heaven comes back, this tower is going to drop, and maybe even the tier 3 towers. Fortification is going to slow them down. Black pressuring back Puppey. This tower is going to drop very shortly. Alex, gotta watch out. Puppey, ice path, avalanche, both going to miss. Puppey's very slippery. Oh, Croaky gonna get that telekinesis off onto Puppey, bring him back a little bit. Dual breath missing though. Puppey's playing such a slippery role right now. Arzard is going to burn down the Jakiro, who got a little bit out of position. Dendi now even coming in, force staffing himself forward. He's gonna get a Rod Dismember onto Croaky. There goes the Black Hole. There goes the Rubik, who took Na'Vi's life the last time. Na'Vi want revenge. 15-13. As this game is still so very even. The gold earned, experience earned, still slightly in favor of Na'Vi, but really, it doesn't exactly feel that way. They need their big ultimates to land, and well, now that they have their Black Hole up, their Ravage will be up in another minute. So they'll be very reliant on the team fights, so it's very much a hit or miss strategy for Na'Vi, whereas GDB, they could just constantly get out the good fights. Tiny not reliant on any like giant timed ultimate or spells really. So I do feel like GDB, even though they're technically behind as far as gold and experience is concerned, they still do have a pretty good chance at taking this out. Of course, might be understating the fact that Forest is level 17 and has a ton of gold in his pocket. But the problem is, still, all these stuns. If he gets lassoed, he could easily be brought down before anything happens. So Forest just needs to get the damage dealt before he takes the damage himself. A BKB would be huge to protect himself from that, but I don't know, a BKB will help him, but it won't really help him all that much versus Lasso if he's the one to initiate. Dendy and Puppy possibly looking towards a gank onto this mid lane. Tiny has picked up the Manta Style, and we do have a smoke from GDB. They're going to be hunting Na'Vi heroes, and they're going to find them. Dendy does have a Force Staff, so he should be relatively safe. No vision from either side revealing anyone out. Puppy and Light of Heaven are going to be the targets, it looks like. We look for the initiation from Sing Sing. Gonna try to go for whoever he can find. Black is going to reveal. And there's the Firefly. Gonna latch onto Arzart, but a BKB immediately gonna protect himself from a lot of that damage. Puppy looking to get in a position for the Ravage. Two-man Ice Path. There's the Black Hole. No, Light of Heaven cannot get the Black Hole off. He's gonna get stunned. He's gonna get killed off. No Black Hole here. Huge four-man Ravage, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. Bambo with the Black King bar up. Gonna try to go for Dendy. He's not taking any damage, but he's not gonna drop either. Bambo is going to try to make his way out. He will get out there. Art with the toss is going to get swatted down by the big tree. Puppy going to try to fight the giant rock golem. Not going to happen. Hook is going to bring Sing Sing into the clutches of Dendy, but no more Dismember. He cannot simply chase this one down. Bambo going to try to get out of Force's way. He will not be able to do it with the Man Void trying to finish him off. It will work. Black now on the run. The hook is going to lash from Dendy, landing onto that Tiny. Tiny is going to drop. Nothing could happen to save him. Light of Heaven getting a one-man black hole into Kuroki, but this is going to mean the death of Kuroki. Batrider is the only one alive, and Pervorce with the triple kill, 19-15 right now. And Na'Vi, even though they lost Light of Heaven before that fight even started, they made it happen, man. That Ravage was decent, but really GDB, they couldn't afford to just stand and fight. The Tiny was sniping off people in the back end, but ultimately, Na'Vi just a little bit more slippery, a little bit more tanky. Did get that fight out, and what the hell is Anti-Mage's... Oh, we got a straight up BKB. There you go. I'm like, where did all this gold go? But that team fight looking very good for Na'Vi. They're going to pressure down these Raxes. They should be able to pick them off. Hook going to miss. These Raxes should fall. Havorce and Puppy just focus it down. Sing Sing going to blink himself forward. Havorce should be fine. Dismember onto Bambo. Dust flies out. Bambo's gonna pop out that BKB charge, and there's the dual breath to kill off the Tidehunter. Havorce gonna stand his ground versus Bambo. He's not gonna have enough damage to actually kill anyone off. Just hit the Raxes. There you go. Bambo is going to survive, as is Havorce. But the Raxes have fallen. Na'Vi, they've taken what they've wanted. They're going to get the hell out of here. Havorce should be fine. No blind ice paths or anything like that. And Na'Vi, they have taken a pretty decent lead in this game. The initiation onto Arzart, I feel, probably wasn't the best idea. Arzart, from what I've seen, has extremely quick fingers. Like, insane. It's absurd. Of course, all the players in this game, they're all pretty darn good. I don't want to take anything away from anyone. But that BKB, as soon as he saw Batrider next to him, popped off the BKB, took pretty much no damage from anything. Tiny wasn't focusing Arzart until he got to this area, and he did eventually drop. But the initiation burned, ultimately not successful. That did cost GDB the Raxes, but they're definitely not out of it. They're just severely behind, and if they could get a kill onto Vorce, Black is circling around. Avalanche Toss is going to get dodged mostly by the Manta-style activation from Vorce. Doesn't have much mana, though. He does have some tread switching available to him. He's going to blink into the trees and try to teleport out. He's going to go deep into the trees, but here comes the Batrider. You cannot hide from this, Vorce. The Flame Break is going to push him further against the edge of the map. There's the lasso, and Havorce is going to drop all alone in the corner of the map. That's exactly what GDB needs to do. They need to get the solo picks off. They need to slow down this Anti-Mage, who still had his BKB charge available to him. The more you get picks off for GDB, the slower the push from Na'Vi is going to come. And of course, this opens up the window for GDB to make a push of their own. They're going to look towards a tier 2 tower, pending with a Shadow Amulet. Never seen anyone actually get and use that item yet. The tier 3 on the top lane is going to get pressured back. Black, with the Avalanche Toss, is going to severely reject that push. And Na'Vi do hold on to their tier 2 tower. Arzart and Light of Heaven doing some pretty good pressure on that top lane, making sure that their tier 2 on the bottom lane stays alive. And this game continues to draw on. Na'Vi have taken a substantial gold and experience lead with the last fight, plus the Raxes that they've taken. GDB, all they need is one good fight, and they're right back into this. Na'Vi, what they need to do right now is to not make mistakes. What Havorce was doing over here, it's pretty much standard as far as Anti-Mage goes, but they need to get a little bit more wards up for really both sides. The ward coverage for this entire game has been rather light. Puppy, Arzart without wards, Light of Heaven, no wards. And Navi, they're playing blind, and that could cost them. Sorry for missing that one. But Denny getting picked off. That is exactly what Navi do not want to have happen. They have to play very carefully now, even defensively even, because they know that they can take a team fight. So GDB, they're going to have to bring the fire to Navi, and doing stuff like this, although Anti-Mage is usually capable of doing it, is extremely risky, just because if he gets caught out, then that can mean Raxes. He's pulling a lot of fire, a lot of heroes up to this top lane. Of course, oh, you do not want to run that way. Black is going to find him. BKB needs to be popped off for this one. It is going, not going to. It is going to. I'm sorry, going to turn straight around for Kuroki. And the Mana Void canceled by the Blink away, which was stolen from him. Blink, you need to blink into the trees and teleport right now. He actually canceled the teleportation. I don't know why. And now he's going to pay for it with his life. He probably could have made it out, but that is going to mean the death of the Anti-Mage. Navi getting sloppy. Navi, why? Just, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why? This is giving GDB a chance to get back into this game, and Tiny starting to get a little bit bigger every single time he gets one of those kills or assists. 210 creep kills, 12 kills actually. That's a lot of blood on Tiny's hands right now. And look at that. I love watching that. It's so satisfying. Ooh, yes, I do enjoy it. But Tiny is going to get, I feel like, an AC next. Some form of attack speed so he could lay the tree down a little bit quicker. And at that point, I feel like he'll even carry harder than the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is doing some pretty decent damage. But once Tiny balances his huge damage with attack speed, that's going to be it. Sing Sing going to get initiation onto R's art. The Avalanche Toss is going to be there. The Ravage, though, heading onto all three. Light having Blink forward. No Black Hole. He's going to get pushed up to the top ground. Now, where was the Black Hole? Sing Sing is going to drop. Black going to get dismembered as well. Bambo and Alter here to support. Black Hole instantly canceled by Light of Heaven. Stolen by Kuroki. And Kuroki is now stuck. No, he's not stuck, actually. But everyone from Navi is on the run. Then he's going to get Black Holed by Kuroki. He's going to drop. Arzart barely making his way out alive. Teleportation is going to save his ass, at least this time. But Light of Heaven, what happened, man? You had a perfect Black Hole opportunity, but it just didn't come out. Pushed up to the high ground and killed. You hate to see this kind of thing happen. Navi fighting without their Anti-Mage. And a little bit of nice trash talk. Navi fighting without their Anti-Mage. Really a sloppy team fight from Navi. And GDB, this time they got the initiation. Even with the Ravage, they tanked that up. They got the initiation onto Arzart, pressured him back from that fight immediately, which means no stun coming out from him. Really, the only stun that was there was the Ravage, and then like a 0.1 second mini stun from the Black Hole. That is going to mean the second Roshan has finally been taken, picked up by the Tiny, who has almost 5,000 gold in his pocket. Are you serious? Just spend some of that, man. Tiny, go to the market, buy yourself something nice. You've earned it, man. You've earned it. Navi, they are still in the lead, although the advantage is starting to dip back into GDB's favor. Anti-Mage is going for, in my opinion, the correct build. He just needs to bulk up because he's doing a lot of damage. He just needs to survive. If Navi pick off everyone except for Tiny, then they'll be able to take him out last. As the other GDB heroes aren't that tanky. They do have some BKBs and Force Stabs and stuff like that. So it will be a little bit difficult, but not impossible. Force just needs to basically survive everything that GDB has to throw at them. Once that happens, once the Telekinesis is out, once the Avalanche Toss is out, once the Lasso is out, then he can just turn around and kill everyone on GDB. They'll be trying their best to kite around with the Force Staffs and Ghost Scepters. But there's only so much that you can do, and Black buying a straight up AC. This Tiny is now a scary, scary hero. But it might not matter if he gets hooked. Black is going to lead the charge, going to take a gush. But this is going to be the 5v5 that Na'Vi need to win, I feel. There's the blink forward from Sing Sing, getting a latch onto Arzart. Could they bring him down? Hook is going to miss. Arzart is going to get barely saved by a huge 5-man damage. Light of Heaven with the black hole. No black hole, just blinking himself forward. I don't know what the hell Light of Heaven is doing. Dendi and Havor's going to pick off the Jakiro, going to go for Bambo next, but not enough damage is coming out from Havor's, and 2 are down from Na'Vi. They have to retreat out of here. Arzart barely surviving out of that one, but Havor's is going to take an avalanche, going to take telekinesis, flame broken back into place. Now Black getting forced that forward, needs one more hit, is going to swat down that anti-mage. Black getting a double kill, and Na'Vi on the run. They did take down the range Raxes, which is going to force GDB, or at least one of them on GDB, back to defend, because they're going to lose buildings. They're going to start to take heat on these tier 4 towers. So the mid lane still working in favor of Na'Vi, but that fight, I don't know. Light of Heaven definitely isn't playing the best. I've seen him play so much better, but right now, blinking forward with no black hole, I guess intimidation tactics, but intimidation tactics only work when you can actually survive and have a valid bluff. That bluff did not do anything. They just saw him and killed him. Because you don't really, when you see an Enigma blink in, you spread out and then you kill him. And they were already spread out, kind of, so they just kind of killed him. It was kind of a rust fight, even though Puppy, the beautiful Ravage, wasn't enough. If they got the black hole, that would have been it. I feel GDB would have lost at least 2 more heroes, and probably the tier 3s, possibly the Raxes. As of right now, Na'Vi just, their fights are not going their way. The advantage slowly slipping back into GDB's favor. And Puppy is going to get initiation onto no one, because Grogi does have Blink stolen from the Anti-Mage. Alex getting an Ice Path on the Puppy as Savorce is on the chase. Does he actually want to do this, though? Everyone from Navi's here, but they'll have the Ravage in 30 seconds, so they just gotta wait. Sing Sing getting an initiation onto Savorce. GDB, they don't want to wait. There's the Ice Path onto Savorce. Could they bring him down? Black has to focus this Anti-Mage stun lock. He is going to blink himself out of there. And now Light of Heaven does have a black hole up, looking for an opportunity. Arzar taking huge damage from Black, popping off the mech. He will die. There it is. Broodmother to the kill. Dendi getting 1 charge of Tara, and now Black is going to chase him down. Shadow Amulet is not going to save you there. Black Hole not available. He's going to try to get it. He does get it onto only 1, but stolen by Kuroki once again. Double Black Holes. Vorce is going to get pulled back into there as Bambo just wails on him. Everyone from Na'Vi is going to die. A complete team wipe. 5-0 in favor of GDB, and an ultra kill for Black. That is going to mean mid-Rax's top Rax even being pushed out by the Broodmother. I do feel like GDB have held long enough, and Na'Vi have made enough mistakes to cost them the game. Mid-Raxes are going to be taken down by Black. You cannot stop a tiny like this. The top lane tower has fallen, no buybacks. They're going to go straight for the GG, actually. Don't really feel that's necessary. You can just take double Raxes, but hell, what do I know? They feel like they can take the GG right now. Why not? And looks like it worked, because the GG has been called. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 between Na'Vi and GDB will tie this series up 1-1. The final game decides who stays in the winner's bracket and who drops down to the lower bracket to fight the winner of Empire and Pulse? Was it? No, Empire. I don't remember, but they're gonna go drop down to the lower bracket. The loser of the 3rd game drops to the lower bracket. The winner of the 3rd game stays on to the winner bracket, and actually it's the grand finals. So the next game, pretty darn important. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this cast, please like, subscribe, leave comments, all that good jazz. And I will give you a high five next time I see you. Other than that, I do believe I will move on to game number 3. Most of my work for this semester is done, so I will be able to get a lot more content to you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I will try my best to deliver. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.